Hey, how's it going? Today we are grooming Josie. Josie is my poodle. She is 3 years old. She's a toy poodle. She's black. I've been grooming her the entire time I've had her. As anyone know who has a poodle, grooming costs can really add up, and it's a great way to save money grooming her myself. Although it is not easy, practice makes perfect. Make sure you don't give up. Josie and I have been on a hair journey. She has had her fair share of horrible haircuts. I'll put some on the screen, as you can see. So don't feel bad. People make mistakes. Just don't cut her or them. Don't cut your dog. And let's hope for the best. Usually it turns out pretty good. Let's get started. I'm gonna put my little scissor holster on. I got this on Amazon. It's pretty cool. Recommend it. Just gonna smell it. Everything I actually got for the grooming today I got on Amazon. I will put links in the description below. Poodles do not have fur, they actually have hair. So it does not stop growing. It will just keep growing and keep growing. So that's why you do have to groom them. And that's also why they are hypoallergenic and amazing. So I highly recommend poodles. So as you can see, I'm clipping the back to start, and I will go up to about right underneath her ear. I'm going to do her neck and underneath her jaw. I'm not going to get the mustache. I'm going to just focus on underneath of here so that she still has that cute little shape. And I'm only going to go down as far as the top of the boot. I'm not going to really go onto the arm that much. A lot of the arms are going to be done with scissors later on. So just be mindful and don't really cut into your boot because we're going for a little Clydesdale, like 70s bell-bottom, poof, fashionista realness. So she's gonna look amazing. So watch out, don't cut the boots. Make sure you clear your table out so you can see what you're doing, especially with a black dog. It can be very challenging to see what you're doing sometimes. And you want to make sure that you're not cutting the dog or what you're trying to keep. Right now she's going to start looking a little bit like a piece of broccoli or a big bird, and that's what we want. So it's working. So let's keep going. And she's going to resist. Most dogs are going to resist. I am holding her very gently and trying to work with her. That's why she's laying down. Sometimes it's actually easier to just let her not be hooked onto this and let her do what she wants, because she's an independent woman and she does what she wants. When I'm doing around her mouth, I'm making sure I'm getting just the bottom right here and not the top, because we want that for the poo. So I'm actually holding her lip like this a little bit, combing it down, and then going like this. For only as long as she lets me. It's really good to kind of have ADD when you're grooming a dog and jump around a little bit. It keeps her distracted and not really trying to pull away too much when you're trying to focus on her face. If you're going from her face to her butt, to her shoulder, to her nose, it keeps her distracted in a good way. And I'm going to do the sides of her face, but I'm not going to go above her ear. I'm going to stop right here and then do a little bit of her cheeks. I'm kind of going to do this area. here. Sometimes, which is what we're going to do now, she does not want to let me get underneath of her, and now I've done most of the top, so I'm going to actually switch to a stool and put her on my lap, because she tends to cooperate a little bit more when I'm doing that. So now I'm going to do her belly and her neckline and underneath here, and then in here a little bit. But I'm not going to touch her genitals. That's going to all be done with scissors because I like to be careful. I'm going to do a little bit of her butt, and then later I'm going to take the guard off and do her feet. But yeah, let's get to cutting her underside. So you'll see me go over areas multiple times, and that's because I don't want to hurt her, and I don't want to work her like a piece of meat, and she can't speak English, so I treat her like she's glass, and I'm very careful with her. She could probably do a little bit rougher, but we're going to treat her like she's glass, so that's going to happen. So when you shave around the tail, make sure you don't go too high on the tail. I only do around the base a little bit. That's how you get that little poof. And we'll work on the tail later, but when you're shaving, just be careful. So while we have her here, we're going to be shaving her feet. I usually take the guard off for this. As you can tell, we have a rapport. She is okay grooming her. I've been grooming her forever. And yeah, she struggles a little bit, but then she stops. So let's do your feet. So since the guard is off, be very careful. Poodles are water dogs, so their feet are webbed. So be extremely careful while you're doing this. Do not cut your dog. I'm not a professional, but be very careful. And that's one foot. We got the beans again, we got the foot, and I'm not going too high, I'm just exposing just the foot. It's easy to just grab the boot like this, so you protect the boot, and just shave the foot. And when they're standing, you don't really see it, and it's really hygienic since they're walking around. God knows what, we live in Brooklyn, so they're walking around the city. It's just very hygienic to do. See, because this one, it's all fuzzy, can pick up a bunch. This one, clean beans. You want clean beans. She does not like her front feet to be done. She will pull. Do not force the dog to do it. Don't hurt the dog. Just work with them. They will struggle. And we're done with the feet. And the other side, for now. Let's get her back on the table and we'll start the scissor work. And covered in hair, that's going to happen. We change afterwards. And I'm just going to touch up some spots I'm just seeing that are long. And I don't want to cut too much off the front because then you get this weird Egyptian, what's called Egyptian royalty shape to your head where the front is all pushed back and the back of your head's long. So you just want to get the stuff that's drooping into the eyes because poodles and other dogs are prone to eye degeneration and cataracts, and cataracts can be caused by hair irritating your eyes. So you really want to make sure that the eyes are nice and clear. You can lay down, Josie. And open to see. And again, I'm bouncing around because she wanted to lay down, and we're going to let her do that because she's working with us, and we're working with her, and we're going to do what she wants so that she's happy. And I always, you've seen me do this, I'm sure, a bunch of times already, throughout, is blowing to clear the hair, because you want to make sure you can see what you're doing, that everything's still what you want. So I'm going to switch scissors to my rounded scissor. And this is, I'm going to trim on top of the muzzle and clear this area, like I said, to open up her eyes. Make sure it's not bothering her, but be very careful. We're obviously cutting around her eyes. She's obviously working with me, so it feels like it'll be fine. But yeah, just be very careful when you're doing this. You don't want to poke your dog's eye out. So make sure you're holding them, and when you're holding them, you want to grab from the jawbone right here and not the neck. So when I'm grabbing them like this, I'm holding her from here, so as to not strangle her, but still be able to move around. So that's where I'm grabbing. And you don't have to rush. This is not a fast process. You want to take your time and not mess up, because then you'll have an ugly or cut up dog, and we don't want an ugly cut up dog. We want beautiful supermodels, because they're poodles or poodle mixes. You can do this on poodle mixes, schnoodles, whatever oodle you got. This works. And I'm going to also get in here and start blending this into what we shaved down earlier. And this, again, always be careful. I can't stress that enough, and I'm sure I mentioned slightly a little bit earlier, but I am not a professional. I am a hobbyist and an enthusiast. And like most of you, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of documentaries and get obsessed with things and try to do them, and that's the point of this channel. It's looking at things and thinking, I could do that, and doing them. So that's why we're here. And we're going to start working on the bottom side. As you can see, she's getting a little Fu Manchu mustaching, and we're just going to cut that off. Careful not to cut the lip, always be careful. I just have done this a bunch of times, so I know where her lip actually is. I'm just going to get it right here by the ear so that it stays nice and clean. Our hygienes can go in there because they grow hair in their ear. You do have to pluck them. It's just horrible and they hate it. But they grow hair everywhere. And again, hair. So it just keeps growing. It's not stop. But careful of hair on your face. Once you get hair on your face, you do not stop itching. Ugh. Yeah, she's being right with me working her face still on. So I'm going to switch to her boots. And then we're going to go back to her face. I'm not done with her face. Just so everyone's aware. But I will do the back of her head. Alright, let's do some boots too. So I'm going to fluff them up with my combs when she's been sitting on them. I'm going to iron them. Haircut. Sometimes you just want to brush her off camera. Let me brush her off camera. I'm actually probably still on camera, but I'm not fully in frame. So I'm not off camera. And I'm going to put my bar back on because she likes to be difficult at this point and constantly down, which is fine, that's her thing. So to combat that, I'm going to put this back on, and instead of going around her head like we normally would, I'm actually doing it under the stomach to keep her from sitting down. Oh. Oh. Okay, so I'm just going to grab her a little bit. She's going to cooperate with me. Maybe I need to open this up more. Okay, that's it. Now she's not going to go with it. And I'm going to start blending from the top of the head. You can see there's this little excess, and we're going to just go down to here. I'm not going to take anything up from there yet. I'm just going to go in at an angle to blend this into that. And you're just going to refine the shape as you go down. Make sure you get the front. Again, being careful around your little skin stretchy there. Whatever you want to call it. I'm just using her natural standing position really as my guide for my hands. So I'm not going to follow her exact curve. I'm going to follow this and just go down. I'm going to follow this and just go down. Okay. And then we'll come in later and refine it. She will try to lay down. Josie. I'm doing the same thing that I'm doing with the front boots I did with the back boots. I'm just blending in the boot with the body that we did. I'm not going too far down because I want that bell bottom shape. And I'll even go in this angle. Right now I'm blending this into her neck. I know you probably can't see from that angle. But just getting the nice big bird. I actually want the big bird broccoli shape. I think it's adorable. And I'm just blending the top of the ears. I'm currently trying to grow out her ears. I'm just going to blend out the top of the ears into the front. We have to develop them. is the general look. We will refine during the week. I didn't realize that I wasn't filming during the tail cut, but I did for the tail is I went like this, cut the end, then you get your length, and then you shape it. Sorry for not showing that. But yeah, we will refine throughout the week because there's always something that you're going to be missing. It's okay. I say them down and then I continue cutting. That's what I'm talking about. And yeah, here she is. I'm gonna show them show dog style. Show dog. She's a show dog. We got the nice tail, we got some nice boots, and we got some nice front boots. There we go. I usually blow her out the end just to get some excess hair off of her. Okay, there you have it. Here she is. So here's the final result. She looks pretty darn cute if I do say so myself. Thanks so much for watching, I hope it helps. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to keep up to date with all my latest projects. Thanks, bye!